They're getting They're getting They're a bunch of idiots getting drunk, talking about conspiracy theories. There's really not much more to it than that. You're listening to Drunk Theory.
That's good.
Yeah. Y'all ready?
Yeah.
All right. Welcome to Drunk Theory.
Shit, I'm sorry. That was my
All right. Y'all ready?
Ready.
Welcome to Drunk.
This is for the bloop.
For the boopers.
The boopers. Fuck.
Everybody ready?
Yes.
Ryan, do you want to do it?
Welcome to Drunk Theory. This is Ryan.
I'm Kara.
I'm Kelly.
I don't even know what we're talking about.
It's a potpourri episode, so I don't even know what the fuck we say.
This is the random surprise. Talk about whatever you want to.
Random surprise. Okay.
Yeah. Kelly, what are you drinking?
So I'm drinking Crown and Ginger, which is exactly what it sounds like. It's Crown and it's ginger ale. I'm putting a shitload of Crown with a very small amount of ginger ale. But you can adjust those volumes as you see fit.
What is
Crown
the
and
normal
ginger.
recipe? Like half and half?
No. Probably like probably like an ounce and a half of Crown to maybe 4 ounces of ginger ale.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Ryan, what are you drinking?
Wild Turkey 101. Lots of alcohol.
I'm drinking
Loop.
3 Olives loopy vodka. It tastes like fucking Fruit Loops. It smells like Fruit Loops. It's goddamn sticky and it gives me a hangover. But it's fucking pretty good. You said you'd try it. Ryan said he'd try a shot of it live on the show.
Oh, I wouldn't do that. After all that bourbon, I don't think I'd do that.
He ain't gonna do a whole shot. He can just do a little bit. All right. Well, I'm gonna go first.
All right.
Just because I've taken over. And mine's super short or whatever. I decided to talk about cereal. And so I did want to go through the number one cereal for the year that we were all born.
Oh, that's fun as fuck.
So, Kelly, in 1980, the number one cereal was Donuts, Donuts cereal.
I feel like I remember that.
When I saw the picture of it, I feel like I remember it too, but it's like powdered donut flavored.
Yeah.
For me and Ryan, we were both born in 1981, and ours.
Oh, I'm also 34.
Yeah, we're both 34. In 1981, the number one cereal was banana cream flavored Frosted Flakes, and I swear to God, that makes me want to die. That sounds fucking disgusting. I don't understand why it was a thing. How the fuck did it become number one? Like, what else was out that year?
Because everybody was like, "What the fuck is this? I have to try it."
So yeah, so it's not necessarily good. Just everybody bought it.
Everybody had to run out and try it. Yeah.
And then even though he's not here, I did math too. So for 1988, the number one cereal was Crunchy Stars cereal, and that is from the Swedish Chef from the Muppets. I actually had to look it up to see how he said it, and it's Crunchy Stars. It's Crunchy Stars cereal.
I love it, but I do not remember that at all.
It looks terrible. Like, it's not any kind of color. I don't think it's got marshmallows or anything in it. Like, it looks bad.
Did you tell Matt what his cereal was?
I did not. I don't think so. Because that's why I texted you and asked you what year he was born the other day.
Okay.
But so the reason I chose cereal is because I don't remember, something stupid. But so I was like, well, and I didn't have anything in mind. And I was like, surely I can find something. And I started out looking at like mascots for cereal. I'm like, surely there's some weird shit with Captain Crunch or whatever. Well, then Ryan brought up the fact that apparently cornflakes were made to keep dudes from jerking off.
I've heard that.
So I immediately paused all of my other research.
I'm full of all sorts of useful,
And I
useless information.
said, this is what we're going with. And I went so far as to have one source for this, y'all. So I'm one, and I even listed it as one stupid source on here. I don't remember. But according to this one stupid source, Mr. Kellogg, I don't even know if that's his fucking name, but whatever. Mr. Kellogg.
It is.
Is it?
Yeah.
He supposedly said, and I quote, and then I had to get Ryan to explain this quote to me. He said, if illicit commerce of the sexes is a heinous sin, self-pollution is doubly abominable. And apparently that means like it's bad to fuck prostitutes, but it's even worse to jerk off.
Twice as bad, technically.
Doubly abominable.
2 times the abomination.
It's twice as bad to fucking jerk off.
Yeah.
And according to him, there are specific foods that make you want to jerk off. And those are any kind of meat, any kind of spicy food, and pretty much just anything that tastes good. So he's like, what we got to do is we got to get all this bland shit out there so that these people stop fucking jerking off. Well, his brother was like, dude, you're fucking nuts. This is a terrible idea. We need to add fucking sugar to this shit so that people will buy it. And Mr. Kellogg was like, nah, fuck that. So owner killers it is what I'm got rid of the
Oh, I thought you were about to say his brother invented Frosted Flakes, which would have been
No.
the ultimate like rivalry.
I hope that's why. I hope that somebody who is pro jerking off made Frosted Flakes.
If I remember correctly, 2 brothers got into like a fight, and then one started Puma and the other one started Adidas. That's just 2. I'm pretty sure that's. I don't know why it's kind of related.
Does either one of those things have cereal?
No,
but
they're
like
both
Adidas
big.
had a cereal at
They're
one
both
time.
big
Probably.
companies. I thought that was neat. They
That
were
is.
started by brothers that hated each other.
And that is like 2 completely different types of people. If you think back to school, like there were Adidas people and then there were Puma people.
Mhm.
It's like
Yep.
you chose your side or whatever.
Like the
I'm
Crips and the
choosing
Bloods.
Frosted Flakes. They what?
I said like the Crips and the Blood.
Yeah. Or what are the Twilight people? Fucking Edward and Jacob. It's like one of those things.
Yeah.
But I'm pro jerking off, so I'm all for Frosted Flakes, but like not banana cream flavored because that's fucking gross.
That's nasty.
That's fucking nasty. But I wonder if we would have seen it if you could still get it.
Nah,
I kind of want to fucking try it.
I do
I
not.
bet you can order it online. I bet some countries
But
they still
yeah.
eat it in
Oh, you think they still make
fresh.
it?
Yeah,
fine?
like we ordered the. Well, no, I ordered some
Probably in Japan
chocolate
because they
lemon
eat just weird
fucking
shit in
Oreos and they
Japan.
were stale because they were like 4 years old, weren't they?
Yeah.
No, you ordered them for me. They were still good. I ate the whole box.
Yeah. All right. So I mean, that's all I got.
You don't have anything about Harvey Kellogg or anything? You didn't write his first name down?
I wasn't even
Oh
sure
my
that
God.
was his last.
Will you look up something and talk about the guy? He's so
I don't-
weird and interesting.
I don't want to. I've done my part. I
You
did.
did
Yeah,
not
What,
do
that's,
any-
that's all.
I did what I
That
came here to
wasn't-
do.
That wasn't long enough for even a conversation.
I did what I came here to
That
do.
was bullshit. I want more.
It wasn't about Harvey Kellogg. It was about who's making the cereal that you jerk off to.
Yeah, it was.
Kellogg's cornflakes.
That's the one you don't jerk off to. Yeah, so were you even listening? Right before you jerk off, would you rather eat cornflakes or Frosted?
Frosted Flakes. That's the question.
I want
That's the
Lucky
question
Charms.
for our listeners too. Let us know.
Ryan says Lucky Charms. And, that's just.
I like Lucky Charms, except for now I don't anymore because
Have you tried chocolate Lucky Charms? They're fucking great.
I have not, and I don't think I would like that because
Why not?
I don't know, because I have like this very like defined idea of what Lucky Charms is, and they're not chocolate. They're
I agree, and also the texture of them, the original Lucky Charms are more like alphabets. It's like a
It is alphabet.
What?
But the
Yeah.
chocolatey ones are more puffed like a Cocoa Puff. That's like two different textures. It is 100% completely different. If you're weird like me, you know they are different. If not, it's all crunchy.
I would
whatever,
know
they're
because I
crunchy,
love
but-
Are they
stars.
crunchy?
They are not crunchy. They were crunchy.
Crunchy
That's
stars.
Two different things. Yes,
Crunchy
the big
stars.
puffs are crunchy. These were crunchy. That is.
We
two
need to
different
find
things.
out if we can get crunchy stars anywhere. That's the one
Yeah,
I
I
want
bet
to
somebody has
try.
a box of them. I bet they're expensive as shit.
I bet
though.
you can get them in Sweden
Well, that's maybe.
because the Swedish chef is from there, right?
Yeah, but it's not like.
Swedish
But
people.
did they have Sesame Street?
Well, surely they wouldn't have a Swedish guy on there if Swedish people wasn't allowed to watch it. All right. Well, that's all I got. Who wants to go next? Who can beat my cereal research?
Ryan, you want to go with all your tabs?
Yeah, I can go next.
Man,
I've got my information. I wrote it down.
crunchy stars.
Crunchy stars. I love it. I'll have to ask him if he's tried it.
I doubt it. I bet it was already not a thing anymore by the time he was eating cereal.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You know
he
what I
would he
mean?
would be eating cereal till like 94, 90. No, I'm sorry, 92. Like, I was gonna say when he was 4, he'd be eating cereal like 3 or 4. So
Yeah.
91, 92. Yeah, it probably wasn't a thing. What was popular when we were kids?
I don't know. I've always been a fan of the Pebbles, both fruity and cocoa.
Yes, those were real
Yeah.
popular.
Yeah.
Also, yeah, that's true.
I still like them shits. Cinnamon Toast Crunch, good one. Still
Oh.
around.
I used to love.
I never liked that because I never really liked cinnamon as
Ew.
a flavor.
love Cinnamon Toast Crunch.
Yeah.
You know what nobody ever liked?
What?
Fucking grape nuts. Y'all remember
Yeah,
those?
yeah.
Or mueslicks.
I like, is it Honey
shit, I
Smack?
forgot.
No, Honey
Honey,
Sugar Smack.
oh shoot, those with the frog.
Yeah, I like
those things
those.
are fucking
I like
disgusting. You
honeycomb
ate
too.
those?
Yeah, that's only good every now and then.
And
They're
they
only
look
good
like
super crunchy.
vaginas.
As soon as they get mushy. Did you just say what I think you said?
They look like little dirty badges.
They do, or they look like if Black Eyed Peas had vaginas.
Oh my god, like Fergie. Never
Where is the love? God damn it! That's my fun part.
mind.
What? What?
I was about to make a dirty joke about my fun part and honey smacks or whatever. I'm not gonna do it because we are adults.
I love your honey smacks.
Oh my god.
Now, for unrelated reasons, I have to go wash my hands.
Okay, Wycliffe.
Oh my god.
I'm gonna go next. I'm almost
He
there.
made me spill my drink, and that shit is super sticky. So I'm not being weird over here.
Yup, that's what happened.
Come on now.
All right, Ryan, it is your turn.
Is it? All right, I did the. I guess it's Dodleston, or it could be Dodleston.
I thought it
saying
was
Dodleston.
Doodleston.
Dodle.
Oh, I thought there was two.
No, one. No, it's not loops. You keep thinking of loops because of crunchy loops. You're seeing 2 O's on
No,
everything
it's
else.
crunchy stars. Fruit Loops.
This is the I'm gonna say Dodleston Messages, and they are so named because the man Ken Webster lived in a small village called Dodleston. I guess that's a village with their little version of a town in England. It's Cheshire, England, on the England and Wales border. What?
That's adorable. I love villages in
Yeah.
England.
I wonder if it's like a. Oh god damn it! The trilogy. Shaun of the Dead.
Oh.
Yeah, you know, like that little village. you
Where
go
were
see.
they? What was the name of it where they did
Hot Fuzz.
and the end of the world or whatever?
Oh shit.
Did they have it? Did they ever say the name of where they were?
I don't remember.
They did it Hot Fuzz because they say they're sending them to whatever village it won best most
It's
beautiful.
been so long since I saw Hot Fuzz. Damn, now I want to watch it. Like right now.
It's the what do they refer to it as? It's the something trilogy.
The Cornetto trilogy, because they keep
Cornetto.
eating Cornetto ice cream bars and all of them.
Is that why they call it that?
Yeah, Cornetto is a brand name. It's like our Nestle or something better, you know.
Is it a
probably.
real brand name? Like, do people in England really get that? We did Chat Smash.
From what I've heard,
What
Cornetto,
is Cornetto?
Cornetto is a huge like brand of. Oh, they're not live, so we can't talk to anybody. I was so
No.
excited,
But
yeah,
we're calling out
there's
the
all
Chat
over.
Smash. I bet they'll listen to this episode, and I bet they'll help us through
Oh,
our
yeah, they probably
problems.
will. I didn't think about that.
There's some helpful people. I love it.
So, the little cottage this guy moved to, his name's Ken Webster. He was a teacher at a local university. This was late '84, and he wrote a book about this called The Vertical Plane. Don't get that out there. I haven't read it, but I've heard it's good. So they moved into this little cottage, and it was him, his girlfriend, and a roommate. And he was having weird poltergeist activity. They had the weird stacking of objects that we were just watching a movie the other day. They did in it. Happens a lot. It was in The Fourth Kind, where some sort of poltergeist stacks shit up and throws things against walls, writes names, all that stuff happened. Apparently. I don't know. I was not there. I was only 3 and I was in America, so whatever. So he worked at a local university teaching, and they had what were called BBC micros. They're little computers. They were not really portable. They were small enough to bring home. They were like 8 or 10 pounds, so you could
So like
technically
the
bring it
original
home.
laptop?
No, it's more like just a normal home PC, but it's not like mine over there where it's a full tower. It's the one where it's like a keyboard that's this big, and you added your own monitor.
Like
to
the
it.
ones we played Oregon Trail on?
Yes,
Yeah.
like that. Yeah.
Yes.
So it's
Oh, wait,
yeah,
you
it's-
just had
it's
to
a
say-
description.
you
It's
just
a
had to say
BBC micro, had a
Oregon
2
Trail.
megahertz processor, 32 kilobytes of RAM, and a screen that could do 640 by 256, which isn't even like regular old television quality. It's lower. 8 colors, not 8-bit colors, 8 colors. 20 megabyte hard drive. Now, if anybody remembers the
I feel
TI-83,
like Kara's brain is about to
do
explode.
you remember the TI-83 calculator from high school? Everybody
I
used?
do remember that
It had a
calculator.
6 megahertz processor and had 150 kilobytes of flash ROM where you could add your own programs, which is more than this had built in. All that is, which is ridiculous to think of. So they had a program kind of like Word, like what we had. It was called Word, like Edward, but Word. That's their Word program, right? Which is my favorite. Yeah.
Did they like it? Was Ed Wood from there? Is that why they did that?
Just like it's the name Edward. Edward.
Okay.
It's
I
just
didn't know if it
anybody
was a
named Edward.
specific.
I think it's just anybody named Edward, because this was in the early 80s. Probably someone named Edward probably programmed it. I'm pretty sure. I didn't look it up, but I'm
Was
guessing.
Word already a thing for us? So they were making fun of us, or did we steal it from them?
I don't know if Word. I don't think Word had been created, because now this would have been Microsoft wouldn't even been just.
Oh, we stole
just
that
forming,
shit.
and they hadn't even stolen DOS yet and called
Shady
it QDOS.
shit.
So yeah, this is way
They're up,
before
Bill
QDOS,
Gates
and
or
then
whatever.
MS DOS, which is DOS is just disk operating system. Then QDOS was quick and dirty operating system. Then MS DOS, which was Microsoft disk operating system, which is the exact same thing, which is they licensed it and now nobody can have it. That's all Microsoft did. They licensed the first
But they
operating
stole
system.
it from the Dodlestons.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the whole thing, exactly. So Ken, his
Shame on
girlfriend
y'all.
Deb, and Nick, the roommate, went out to a pub one night after they've had the poltergeist things, and he had brought home one of these Ken had brought home the BBC Micro to do some work for the school, because I think he worked in the English or philosophy, something where he had to write shit. So he was working on stuff at home, and they came home from the pub, and the program Ed Word was open, and there was a poem, like a weird little poem kind of written. And it's as goes, but the flower reaches too high and withers in the burning light, get out your bricks. Pussycat, pussycat went to London to seek fame and fortune. Faith must not be lost, for this shall be your redeemer. Now, they were all gone. There was 40, 50 witnesses that saw him at the local pub. And this wasn't like a computer there was no internet. Anybody who says, oh, they connect to internet. In '84, there was no internet. this is like when DARPANET was just a thing. There was no any kind of connection online. TCP hadn't even been invented. There's no IP addresses. There's none of this shit. It had intranet if you were at the school, and it was like a local internet where they could share stuff back and forth with the other computers. But this didn't have that at his house. The house, I don't think, didn't even have a phone. So this was the only thing there, just plugged in and working. So they got this weird ass message.
That poem, is that a real poem, like a poem that's published somewhere?
It's just from him. It's just what this person or whatever entity left. So they don't know exactly who it was or anything. And they kept getting weird little things. They returned the computer back and borrowed a different one, the same type, in early '85. Yeah.
They took it back to the school. It was like, hey, this one's haunted. I need a new one.
No,
or the school took it back.
He was just done with it for the summer, then went back to school later in '85 and needed a new one for some homework and kind of forgot about it. That was just a dumb message. It won't happen again. So they get the new computer and it happens again. And there's another message that's creepy as shit that's written more in like Middle English, and it's signed LW or Lucas Wayneman. Now, he takes this message to one of his friends, Peter Trender, that he works with, and he's like an English professor and does like dialects and knows about languages and shit. And he said it's written in 16th century dialect of the town and place where they lived in Cheshire or Dodleston. There's like a town, a county. England has like a whole bunch of shit before you get up to wherever you live. It's ridiculous. So, the roommate were typing back and forth in this file where it just basically they opened a WordPad file, they got the message, they would type something, and then later there would be a message back to them. They talked back and forth, and he eventually said his name was Lucas Wayneman. He was from the 1540s, and he lived on that plot of land, and he was not very happy they were there. That's the only information. They don't know how he's got there, how they're contacting him. They don't know anything. So they talk back and forth. Apparently, even the professor, the other college professor, is talking back and forth, and he tries to test it by leaving a message to the guy and then deleting it so nobody knows. And he still gets an answer to the message, and the answer is. And it's written in super weird Middle English, like U is spelled Y-O-W.
What was his message?
That's what I'm trying to say.
No, you're about to tell us what they answer, but you never said. You said he typed new message and then deleted it.
He was trying to ask him who he was and what year he was from, and the guy he was getting answers back. And one of the first ones he got, it doesn't give every specific one because I didn't read the book. I wish I would have, but I didn't buy it yet. But one of the ones written, like I said, in weird Middle English, you said your time. Oh, this was after the professor in one of the messages back and forth mentioned what year it was. I don't have the specifics. He just mentioned it was 1985. This is before Back to the Future came out. So before you say that came out in late 85. There wasn't a thing yet. And the first one came out in 84, so it's done. You said your time be 1985. Me thought you were alls from 2109, like your friend whom didst bring leams boist pray. Now yeah, exactly. But that little phrase, leams boist, it's LEEMS BOYSTE, is a weird dialect from the time that means box of lights. Leams boist. That was like some weird dialect from near there that meant that. So apparently he has the man from the 1540s has this computer type thing, and it doesn't have plugins or anything. It just kind of works on its own that he types the messages into, and that they are getting information from. And also mentions, like I said, the 2109. So we're in the 1540s. We're in 85 with Ken, and then apparently there's a 2109 timeline that have brought the computers to everyone that can communicate with him. So the next message they get after the box of lights message was from the 2109, where they talk about, we have importance for you, that y'all are the trio that were in the cottage were important to history, and that something was going to happen. They were going to do something. So Ken ends up bringing paranormal investigators out to the cottage. They came out 3 times with their meters and all their shit to check everything.
Was it the Warrens?
It was not. It wasn't. It was someone from the university, but they got nothing. They brought out like the professional shit. They got nothing. So they left, and then the man Lucas, apparently that was a fake name. His real name is Thomas. It gets weird as shit, right? So Thomas talks about the 2109 and yeah.
The Lucas though
That's
is
the 1540s guy.
So how do they know that it wasn't really Lucas? Now they're saying it's Thomas.
He said his name was Thomas. He gave him a fake name because he was mad at him for being on his land, and then eventually they became friends enough that he said his real name was Thomas.
Oh my god! All right, keep going. Keep going. This is great.
Tear it apart after I'm done.
What?
I'm just
I gotta go to bed.
God damn it. Shut up. Well, you ain't gotta go to bed soon. It's like an hour from now. We got time. All right. So Thomas Lucas talks about the 2109. I wish I could read the whole thing because I want to know how far in he talks about his fake name. Like, were both of these popular names in the 1540s? Thomas and Lucas? I don't even know. I don't know.
I feel like Lucas was one of the children of the corn names, so that shit goes back real far, right?
That's true. Yeah, that sounds right.
And
that's the children of the corn
Thomas too. I feel like both of those
Thomas
are
Jefferson.
old
That was a long time ago.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah.
So, Lucas says he is being forced from his land and his time, and that he will not be able to communicate anymore. But that at some point, a book is going to be written by him. It's supposedly in his point of view from the 1540s about all this that has happened from the future people and the super future people that brought the computer.
Y'all making me want to read books and shit.
Yeah.
I don't read books.
And the 2109 said that the book would be found at some point in the future. It has not been found yet. This is 9505, 37 years later, and we haven't found anything yet. But according to the 2109, they were important, and we are going to see some life-changing shit soon.
We need Chat Smash because I feel like he could pinpoint where this fucking village is.
You're right.
And then we can go fund me our trip out there to find this book and save humanity.
Well, I keep telling y'all need motherfucking passports, so y'all need to get on that shit right now.
Yeah, I guess we probably do.
I also want to visit Ireland and the Cliffs of Moher and Cliffs of Dover.
I just want to go to the big fish town in Alabama. It's like the only thing I want to do.
In your whole life, that's the dream.
But on a side note, anybody, like I said, the internet wasn't a thing. There was no way to do any shit like that. There also wasn't any way to run a background program to find out what these people were writing and to read it later. Even now, it would be hard to bring that shit up. Back then, almost nobody knew how to do that shit. So either someone really knew what they were doing. Apparently, there is a way to read the memory files of that Edward program where you could, it's like you overloaded the memory and it would tell you what memory had been written to, and you could piece out what the message would say. Only the one right before that one that was deleted, it was only the very last message, and somehow you could do that. And then someone else online had posted about if you had a certain type of this BBC Micro, which is the non-tape drive version. That's apparently what he had. The keyboard had a slot on the bottom of it. The ROM file, the read-only memory, that's different from the RAM. That's what actually held the operating system, was under the keyboard in a slot. It had a second slot for Word programs or other programs that were programmed onto a EPROM, and a reprogrammable ROM, or an empty one. You can have it programmed to whatever you want. Now, if you programmed a keylogger onto this one and installed it, nobody would be able to see it because it's inside this big ass inch-thick keyboard that holds all the computer and shit. So someone is like that. That's the theory that I've seen of how they could read something after that guy deleted it. Because if the professor deleted shit, who the fuck would know to, you know what I mean? It's like the fucking roommates were hackers and shit. There was no such, there was almost no such thing in the 80s. That early. Like, you really had to know what you were doing. There were very few people.
So, like, our options here are pranksters or time travelers. Is
And
that
then
what we're looking at?
the pranksters. I mean, it's very possible, but very few people would know how to do that, and even fewer
Oh my
people
God, y'all.
would be in this little town in England. So
Was time travel not our... No, going to the moon was our first episode, right?
But we did do a thing on time travel, and one of the things we talked about was, well, one of the things that I talked about is that science says you couldn't go back to a time period where time travel didn't exist.
it's like Primer. You can only go back to the first.
So in 2109, if this book pops up or whatever, it'll prove me wrong, but I'll be dead, so I won't give a shit.
It's just wild. I'm gonna have to read that book. That's y'all. You
What's
heard
the
it
name of
here
the book?
first. Kara's about to read a book.
Kara's gonna read a book.
Last book I read was goddamn the whole Twilight series. It was weird.
It's called The Vertical Plane. Is the
That's
name
a
of the book.
damn shame. You should read another book to like cleanse your palate or whatever.
Let me tell you what, I got so addicted to those books that I set my fucking alarm. After I read New Moon, I set my fucking alarm so that I would get up and go to Barnes and Noble when they fucking opened to buy the next one. It was so fucking ridiculous.
I read up to the third one, and then I just like gave up. I think like halfway through, I was like, I just really don't give a fuck about it.
Oh, I gave so many fucks. I gave like all the fucks.
You gave all the fuck.
I gave all the fucks about those. So what do you think?
Personally, more than likely, I think it was maybe a student that had a problem with him and was fucking with him.
But they'd have to be
how
super
are
fucking
they-
smart. How are they getting into his house
Exactly.
and shit?
So the only other option is either the
Well,
girlfriend or
if they're smart enough to hack the computer, like you don't think they're smart enough to like break into the house without
but
being
then know
seen?
when he's gone and all that shit and know
Because back then,
And
people
also-
weren't posting on Facebook that they were going out to dinner
Yeah.
or whatever.
yeah, and you also have
Well,
to know
I guess
that the
their
professor wrote
surveillance
some
had to
shit
be
and
like
deleted it.
more intense. But if they were really intent on fucking with this dude
Yeah.
and they were really, really
It's
smart,
possible.
they could fuck
Yeah.
with that dude.
And this is what year?
Late 84, early 85 is when this
So
happened.
that person is totally still alive.
Oh yeah.
If it was somebody fucking with him.
If you fucked with this man in England and you're
Oh my God.
listening, please.
We
get
have
on
a
here.
following
I will
there.
send
They
you
might be
Some
listening.
good ass
Hold on.
bourbon if you will be on the show.
No, I tweeted looking for Lucas Wayneman, aka Thomas Harden. Need answers. Contact us, and then just put our email.
Oh, wait,
in there.
Also, you should talk the 2109. If you or anyone you know has been contacted by the 2109, please let us know. Maybe someone else has been contacted by them and doesn't know it.
Yeah.
I mean,
And then just tag chest.
yes. Don't give them any more information.
With no context.
So tomorrow they'll
With
be
no
like,
context.
"Wait, is this what
Just
they're fucking
tag
talking
chat
about?"
smash. Oh, and then tag 100 things we learned from film.
No, I will. Oh, but they're from over there too, right?
And said what? And Scottish murders.
No, I'm not going to tag everybody. I'm just
No,
going to
don't tag
chat
everybody.
smash.
Do we know
Just
anybody from
do chat
Wales?
smash.
That's right. It's right near the border.
I'm just going to
apparently.
chat smash. They're going to be super confused about it.
I love it so much.
We're recording and drunk tweeting at the same time, you guys.
Yeah,
Unprecedented.
I'm sure it's not. But
It's
Also, if
absolutely-
anybody knows anything about linguistics, can you confirm Liam's voice means box of lights? I would love to confirm that because that's a pretty awesome one.
I
like
feel
that.
like read the whole thing again. No, not that one. Read the first one about the cats and the bricks or whatever.
But the flower reaches too high and withers in the burning light. Get out your bricks. Pussycat, pussycat went to London to seek fame and fortune. Faith must not be lost, for this shall be your redeemer.
I feel like this is about a whore.
Someone that was maybe in love with the girlfriend that he maybe at the college
I
he
feel
worked
like
at.
this is breakup poetry.
Oh, it does sound like that. Maybe like someone that would know about linguistics that could talk to someone and get the right type of shit. And
do you know who's an English teacher that we know?
Who?
Beard Owl. Hey, Lauren.
Holy shit!
my brother is a music teacher.
Lauren.
That doesn't help, but
Doesn't help
yeah,
at all.
I know. I was just talking because
Well, he might be able to help if that's song lyrics, but
His archery team came in second place at their competition. He does archery coaching after school.
So I want to talk about Queen Elizabeth II. And so when we decided that the topic was going to be potpourri, like whatever we wanted, I looked for what's happening right now.
So
Like,
the queen that you're talking about is the weirdo queen that's on the news all the time or whatever. The queen now, right? The
Queen
old lady, the
Queen
pink
now.
lady.
Pink
Hold on, let me
lady.
interrupt you real quick and tell you that I don't remember where I was going, but one day I was going down the road and a fucking car came beside me. You might have been with us. Had one of those goddamn, I guess it's like the thing that keep the sun out of your baby's face or whatever, but it was a picture of the goddamn queen wearing that yellow dress. Holy shit, why would somebody fucking have that? It's fucking wild. It's like going down Lawrence Road and just the whole side window is queen. All
They
right.
love the Queen. I know that Chat Smash forces the Neatcast on occasion to say God save the Queen. As part of their fight when Chat Smash is winning. But anyway, so there's been some very recent stuff about the Queen. Is she dead? So on February 22nd of this year, so just a couple of weeks ago, Hollywood Unlocked posted on Instagram that, in quotes, sources close to the royal kingdom notified us exclusively that Queen Elizabeth has passed away. So that shit went viral immediately, even though this is not something that's new. Like, she's 95 and this has happened before, that people have said she is dead. But so, people are upset, people are posting their condolences, like, oh my god, the Queen is dead. That's so fucking sad. Even like there was a CNN posting, which later turned out to not be a CNN posting. It turned out to be an account posing a CNN posting.
I saw all that shit on Twitter.
Yeah,
I
it
saw hashtag the Queen is dead on Twitter.
Yeah, so it was every fucking where, right? So people are sharing it. It's viral. So the chief of staff of the House of Lords, he immediately said, no, that's fucking bullshit. So what had happened was, the Queen had COVID. She did have COVID. She had a positive COVID test. She had called off all of her social engagements. Like, so she wasn't doing like any parties and shit like that. She wasn't doing any like virtual meetings or any of that shit. But she was doing her like standard queenly duties. Like, she had a weekly meeting with the UK Prime Minister. So she actually still had that meeting on February 23rd, which is the day after everybody said
she died.
So
but hold on, I want to go back to the shit they make her do. They make this 95-year-old lady have like weekly Zoom meetings.
Apparently so.
That's fucking horrible. What's wrong with y'all?
I'm guessing she could hand over that shit anytime she wanted, but maybe she doesn't.
Maybe she likes it.
Yeah. So on February 23rd, UK Prime Minister Boris Johnson, after his meeting with her, is like, nah, bro, I just talked to her. She's alive. The palace also continued on. They're planning a 4-day Platinum Jubilee celebration for June, because that's going to mark her 70th year on the throne. So they continued with that. They're like, no, man, she's not dead. She's just not seeing anybody right now because she looks like crap. So based on, they didn't say because she looks like crap. That's what I'm saying. Because I know if you're sick, you just don't want anybody fucking looking at you, and I don't blame her. So based on these statements from officials, based on the UK Prime Minister saying, bro, I just fucking talked to her, media sources, they began to report that Hollywood Unlocked's post was false information. So what makes this interesting is that Jason Lee, who is the CEO of Hollywood Unlocked, at this point, he's like, I'm doubling down, and I'm saying
it's
she's
like the
dead.
Mallrats, Jason Lee, right?
No, it's not the Mahler. It's just
My name is Earl. Is over here trying to tell us.
like at this point he doubles down and he's like, no, I trust my sources. She is dead. I've never been wrong. So he's like, we're not retracting the report. So he's like, he's like, I trust my source. So let's talk about the source. He said that he heard the news directly from a guest of the wedding of British Vogue editor-in-chief Edward Enninful. He said that a guest there received a phone call, became emotional, and told a few people what had happened. And I don't know if he was one of those few or one that it trickled down to. But he also said that the Queen was supposed to attend the wedding. So this set off like a whole shitload of red flags with people, right? Because A, the Queen does not attend weddings of people that aren't family. That's just not fucking done.
Because they never have, or is there like a law against it?
I'm guessing she doesn't do it because then everybody would ask.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
I got you.
Sets a bad precedent, I guess.
Celebrities be wanting the Queen at their wedding.
Yeah.
Okay.
You
I got you.
that, girl.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's just not fucking done. Also, there's a very specific protocol of shit that's supposed to happen when the Queen dies. Like, it's not going to be all up in there. They absolutely know who's going to succeed. So there's no reason to fucking hide it or anything. It's like, this is what's going to fucking happen. And BBC is supposed to break it. He's going to BBC, the news network, is supposed to break into everything. The Queen is dead. They're going to give their announcement. I mean, that's how it's supposed to be done. Nobody's getting a call at a wedding. The flags are going to go half-mast. There's a whole fucking thing. So what makes this interesting is a very notable queen did die that night. Apparently, Mark Lanigan, who was the singer for Queens of the Stone Age, died that night. And what people think...
Wait, who?
The Queens of the Stone Age guy.
Mark Lanigan. So he sang for Queens of the Stone Age. And he is somebody that might be in with British Vogue people. They think that it's like the telephone game where the message just goes.
Oh, okay.
Oh my God. So his shit, nobody even knew that he fucking died because...
Well, everybody also knew that he died because people were reporting that also. But now that people are looking at it, they're like, you know who might have got a call at the British Vogue wedding? Somebody about Mark Lanigan.
Oh my
you know
God.
who might have been invited to a British Vogue wedding? Mark Lanigan.
Well, how did he die?
I don't know if it said. I want to say it just said unexpectedly. This became a whole thing, like a whole joke on Twitter and all the social medias. So I wrote down some of the funny shit that came on Twitter and Tumblr and shit like that. So on Twitter, just kind of based on the fact that this Hollywood Unlocked would not retract their story because they didn't up until a couple of days ago. So they said, Buckingham Palace announced today that the Queen has gone to live on a farm in the country where she'll have a lot more space to run around with other queens.
She's gonna live on the farm with all those other queens so they can run and be free.
Hold on, did you write down who wrote that? We need to tag every single one of these people.
No, that shit wasn't on there. So a Tumblr post was, the monarchy wants to avoid her rule being 69 years, which is not a nice round number like 70 years, and would probably lead to a whole lot of people commenting nice under her obituary. So on March 1st, Jason Lee of Hollywood Unlocked finally had to concede that the Queen isn't dead after she held 2 virtual meetings from Windsor Castle. So,
Goddamn Earl.
when her shit was over and she was doing her thing again. She was like, here I am.
Like, wait a minute, guys.
But Jason Lee continues to report that he's never been wrong and claims he received false information from an intern.
But I mean, that makes you
That's
wrong,
what wrong
dog.
means.
What
I
are
wasn't
you
wrong.
doing?
She was
But
wrong.
But also
Fuck
because
outta
he said
here.
he was at that wedding and heard it from his source and all of that, so he's just being shitty. So that is all I have on the Queen being dead or not dead. But I just thought it was funny. And I hope y'all did too.
So, is that all you got?
That's all I got.
So, while you were talking, just because I know that this has happened before, because I saw,
Oh
and
yeah,
I
it's
see
happened
it.
a few times.
Yeah,
Yeah.
well, I see it. It pops up all the time, and I want to say it's fucking Hulk Hogan, saying that he's gonna miss Bam Margera, and he's like, "Oh man, brother, you were so cool." And then Bam Margera comments, he's like, "I'm totally alive, guy." So, like, people thinking that celebrities is dead is a whole fucking thing. So, I actually just Googled celebrities that have been said to be dead when they were actually alive. And one thing that this is a list of 51, and there's a bunch of them on here. Alice Cooper, Taylor Swift. Apparently, it happens with everybody. But
Yeah.
this one, this one caught my attention because this is for Drake, and it says, fans of the Canadian rapper panicked when on November 14th, 2020, they saw R.I.P. Drake trending on Twitter. But as it turns out, obviously the 4-time Grammy winner was the victim of a hoax. When they clicked on the supposed LA Times headline that read, Drake, Canadian songwriter and rapper, dies at 34, it took you to the Rick Astley, Never Gonna Give You Up. And underneath it said, you got Rick rolled in 2020.
That's the most amazing thing I've ever heard.
Obviously, death is not a joke or whatever, but if y'all can find, if I die, if y'all can find a way to use that to Rick roll people, please do it. Please fucking do it. And if you don't do it, you're going to hell.
Oh, I thought you were home, but
if you look it up, I mean, apparently, this happens all the time. Avril Lavigne is on there. I mean, Paul McCartney, like every fucking body's on there.
So for me, the most notable, John Goodman, because I would have
I swear to God, that motherfucker's been dead for years, right? Every time I see him pop up in something, I'm like,
he's been dead forever, yeah. And it was like, I thought he was dead forever, and then he popped up in like the Speed Racer movie, and I'm like,
Righteous Gemstones, he's still filming right fucking now. We watch it.
Yeah. So John Goodman has escaped death multiple times.
Makes no sense. That's John Goodman, right?
What?
Righteous Gemstones?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, I was about to be like, wait a minute, maybe I'm nuts. And you know what I think it is? I think, even though he has done a whole bunch of shit, he is cemented in everybody's memory as Roseanne. Even though that's not his biggest thing, and I know that he was in a whole bunch of other shit. You know, he died in Roseanne. And I think somehow
he died for all of us.
that just makes everybody think he's dead. Like, so what else you got, Kelly? That's it?
That is all I've
But
got.
the Queen is alive and well, correct?
The Queen is alive and well. And planning a jubilee.
Or the hologram of the Queen is perfect and fine and healthy.
Could be a hologram.
Oh,
We should do a promo here, but we're going to do the Good Fucking Wines promo because,
fair enough.
yeah, because
They gave us booze for the con.
they gave us booze for the con.
And y'all
Apparently
didn't.
the bourbon is the goddamn tits. Like, everybody loved the goddamn bourbon. So if you're a bourbon drinker,
Good fucking bourbon.
good fucking bourbon, and you can get it from these guys.
I thought the vodka was fine as well.
Oh, yeah. Well, so I like the vodka too. We didn't share it with anybody. We just drank it all for ourselves.
Good fucking vodka.
Good fucking vodka, good fucking bourbon. Check out the good fucking brands. Okay, so because it's past my bedtime, we got to get going. So
All right.
this was our sorry we fucked up and y'all went a whole long time without an episode. Ryan decided to call it potpourri. I'm gonna go back through and try to call it something cool.
Yeah.
But so we got good fucking wines. Y'all go buy it. What did you say earlier? Fucking 40 wanted prosecco.
Oh yeah. Good fucking bubbles.
Get you some good fucking bubbles because I liked it. I'm not a wine person or a.
I liked it too. Also not a wine person.
I don't know what that is, but whatever. I liked it. I thought it was good. Anybody else got anything pertinent
Nope.
for the discussion?
Nope.
Well, this has been our apology episode for being slack as fuck and not knowing.
We're sorry we're so
doing.
shitty.
I will release this as soon as I get it edited, hopefully tomorrow, except for keep in mind that I drank Fruit Loop flavored vodka and I'm going to be hungover as fuck tomorrow. But I'm going to try to get it done tomorrow. And then
we
y'all
love y'all so much.
We love y'all. Thank y'all so
dedication.
much. Yes, we will be back hopefully soon. I do want to shout out Leo Allen from Voluntary Input
for hanging out with us.
And the Blue Collar Enlightenment Show. They
also hanging out with us.
We did a live thing. We got way too drunk. I had to just pull the whole thing. But we did play Fuck, Marry, Kill, and it was fun as hell. I might release some snippets of that. Somebody I remember killed John Travolta, and I called that a war crime. I don't remember who it was.
I don't remember that.
You cannot kill John Travolta.
He's staying alive.
He's fucking staying alive. And that's why we're married, y'all. All right.
That's the best thing ever.
But
that has to stay in, by the way.
Thank y'all so much. Chat Smash, please keep an eye on our tweets and your messages because we need your input on this time travel fucking weirdo lay of the land, England bullshit. And I also need to know about the Cornetto ice cream cones or whatever.
Right.
Other than that, I guess we're done.
Yes. Love y'all.
Love y'all.
Good night.
Jump, jump,